because less than 3% of you people read books. Listen to me. Television is not the truth. Television is a goddamn amusement park. Television is a circus, a carnival, a traveling troupe of acrobats, storytellers, dancers, singers, jugglers, sideshow freaks, lion tamers, and football players. We'll tell you anything you want to hear. We lie like hell. We'll tell you any shit you want to hear. We deal in illusions, man. None of it is true. You're beginning to believe the illusions. This is mass madness, you maniacs. In God's name, you people are the real thing. We are the illusion.
Well, welcome to the sixth episode of Idiotbox TV. Yeah, I still hear music too, and we're live. Go ahead with your spiel, drummer.
I didn't know what was going on. Okay, hello everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Idiotbox.
You screwed up the whole intro, and I knew you were going to screw it up.
I didn't have
your audio on your computer, man. That was your audio on your computer.
I didn't have my computer on. I didn't know where that was coming from. I could hear it. So I was confused, like, what?
It was coming from you again.
Bam! Boom! Boom! That's why this is live, so we ain't got to worry about messing up and being...
That's true.
Anyway,
okay,
welcome. Episode 6,
screwed up.
Idiotbox Television. Troy messed up this time, y'all. Hey, we got our new hats in. Y'all check that out. Idiotbox Television hats. Now, y'all, we got some interesting topics today. First one we got is Texas laws. 666 new laws went into effect in Texas. So that's some weird numbers, ain't it? But anyway, also, our second topic is mental health. We got our speaker who is a clinical social worker. Ain't that correct, Troy? Clinical social worker, Rondo Cooper. He's going to come on and, just speak with us on the topic of mental health. So, we got an interesting show. Let's see who's out there, who's representing. We got 6 people. Call them out, Troy.
So let's see who we got on here. Of course, we've got the infamous London Brown. She is in the house. Well, thanks for showing up. And of course, the wife of Reef Brown, Sheena Brown. She says, what's up to everybody? Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for coming on. We want to make sure that we got something that's coming up with our YouTube. So as many of you know, YouTube, but we have to have over 100 subscribers and you can change your URL. Right now, we've got a really long URL and it's hard. It's really hard to paste that to people and it's hard for them to find us. So we're asking you guys, just subscribe so we can get to those 100 subscribers so we can change our URL so it's easier for viewers to find the YouTube. So that's all we're going to ask for you guys. We're making a big push for that, for the YouTube. And thanks for everything in advance. Brian, he's in St. Louis. He said he wasn't going to make it because he was going to be watching football. But he's on here. As we know, we're up against 41.4 million viewers on Thursday Night Football. Glad you guys took the time to spend it with us. We got great topics. So
let's go into our first topic here.
Shall we?
Troy, let's do it. Troy, take us over there.
Do it.
So as Drummer said earlier, 666 new Texas laws went into effect September 1st. There's some good laws and some terrible laws. One of them we were talking about earlier was the gun law. Anybody basically. I don't know whether they're going to be doing background checks. Well, they probably will. But if you're 21, you can actually possess a gun and have open carry. So everybody in Texas, it's a Wild West. It's the shootout. I'm not sure what to think about that. What do you think, Drummer?
Man, it's I mean, anybody gonna be able to carry now. I mean, just anybody. It's I can't even fathom it. I'm flabbergasted. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah, well, a lot of people say that it could be a deterrent. Like if everybody has a gun, those who are doing crime may not want to do crime.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
London says they don't like. She doesn't like that law at all. Michigan and Missouri have open carry already, which is absolutely correct.
Yeah, they do.
And gun violence in Grand Rapids, Michigan, is prevalent. So what do we do to deter that? I guess that's one of the questions. What do you think, Sharif?
I think the number, this. We all know what that is. But why does it have to be this? It could have been a different number, 59 or 700. You know,
You talking about the number of laws that were passed is 666?
I know we're talking about laws, but those laws, there's a lot of laws out there. But they don't have to be this though. But at the same time, I think it's going to be real tough for Texas.
Yeah, so we're
and
gonna.
I hope the other states don't have to go through that, but hopefully they can do something about it. Do something about it.
Brian brings up a good point. We already have open carry in Missouri and Michigan.
Yeah.
So I again, I don't know if it's a bad thing or a good thing. What it is the House Bill 1927 allows Texas ages 21 and older to carry handguns without training or license, as long as they're not legally prevented from doing so. So they can't have any felonies or things like that. But not to have training, that's a little scary. That's a little scary for somebody to not have any training whatsoever with firearms, carrying a pistol around.
Well, go ahead.
They might end up doing a cheddar bob. We don't want any cheddar bobs out there.
Who knows that for a free T-shirt? If anybody knows that, you get a free T-shirt. We don't want any cheddar bobs. We don't want any cheddar bobs out there when it comes to guns and messing around and don't have no training.
Yeah, first one that comes up with that reference, the cheddar bob reference, gets a free T-shirt tonight.
Gets a free T-shirt tonight. Okay, now on a positive note, they got the police body camera, the HB9 of active investigations. This law is named after Botham Jean, who was fatally shot in his apartment while eating ice cream by a Dallas police officer. Remember that one, y'all? In 2018, she said, I thought that I was in my apartment.
Wow. Yeah, I thought I was in my apartment.
You know when you get that little stain from when you was eating some fast food on your door, so you know the stains around your doorknob and all that stuff.
Right.
But
anyway,
anyway,
we got a winner. We got a winner of the T-shirt. It's Breon. He beat you to it, Nakamichi. He just barely beat you to it.
What'd he say? He said mile. What's mile?
8 Mile. The movie 8 Mile.
He said mile though. He didn't say 8 Mile. You done told now because you got to type it out. David E.
Yeah, that's what he put, and then corrected it. Oops, and then corrected it.
Okay, my bad. I was just trying to make sure, no.
Yeah,
he's a Haywood. He my family anyway. We'll talk about that later. We are really family, but we'll talk about that later. Old settlers.
Yeah, the old settlers.
Yeah.
That's going to be another show. That should be another show that we do. We talk about the old settlers up there in Mecosta County. It's a really, really intriguing story. I think that will be something we talk about. Well, right now we're talking about these laws. They had a medical marijuana expansion law, which is, I guess, good, reducing barriers to SNAP. So those who, are a little poor and unfortunate, they can get SNAP benefits. Funding the 1836 project. This is HB 2497. That's the law was passed. So what they did is they got a committee together to produce patriotic Texas history materials to combat the initiative of the 1619 Project, which everybody knows about the 1619 Project. So they're trying to ban the 1619 Project to be banned. Period. It's all history. I think it's all should be told. Good, bad, indifferent. What do you think?
Yes, it should definitely be told. Good, bad, whatever. Whatever it is all history, regardless of what it is, good, bad, or whatever. But I'm just gonna say, but what you say, Nakamichi? He like what? He said he thought he was supposed to.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what.
He wasn't even listening.
We'll give you a T-shirt. Well, you came on first guest, so that's 2 T-shirts we gave away tonight. So make sure you guys email us your size, your color,
there you go right there.
Yep, your size, your color, and your address, and we'll send out that T-shirt tomorrow.
Man, I need to hook in somehow so I can have the audience clapping. I need the sound effects. We got to figure that one out.
We're definitely gonna have to figure that one out.
Yeah, we need sound effects. Well, my cuz, he said it's cool. I already ordered 2. Oh, he already ordered 2. Troy, good looking on that support, cuz.
It's all right. We'll send you a hat.
Now throw that back up. Throw the website back up so people can see that again. For all who's out there to order merchandise, these hats, T-shirts. There you go right there at the bottom, but I'm going to say it anyway. To purchase Idiotbox TV merchandise, log on to www.troyeverett.net and click shop. Get that hat.
Get the hat and get the shirts. We got different colors. Different colors.
Now, make sure you know your own head size because the hats is that stretchable kind. So it come in medium. What you say it was, Troy?
They come in medium, and then they come in large, extra large. So Nakamichi, you might be out of
no.
Nah, we don't have extra large. So we're gonna have you on the show so you can come back after.
Why? See, honestly, no wait. Let's get this straight before anything goes down. I wasn't trying to reference to be funny. See, my hat is the large, extra large, so it's kind of loose. It's kind of loose. Just shut up, Troy. It's kind of loose. It's kind of loose. So I just want to make sure that I'm not in the line of fire. I didn't start anything. I would just say and make sure. Troy, the light-skinned guy, he said it. Nakamichi.
Yeah. So that would be in that show. All right, shut up, drummer. Thank you. We got to put a plug-in drummer sometimes. He goes on forever. So Nakamichi and drummer and I have been friends for a long time, and it's a sig fest when we get together. So that's going to be a great show when he comes on. He has a business. And he's also a descendant of Sojourner Truth, and he's working with the Sojourner Truth Project. So we're definitely going to get him on in the future. And talk about that because it's really good things that have been said. Yes, shots have been fired, Nakamichi.
No, not me.
So it's gonna be blazing saddles, as he says. It's gonna be it's gonna be a fun show. But back to Texas law. And like we said, there's a lot of laws that were passed. A lot of them, some of them are good and some of them are bad. One of them is actually that's getting all the uproar is the one about abortion. So they scaled down the time frame in which you could legally have an abortion, which goes completely against the Roe versus Wade federal law. So there's a lot of women out there that are upset about that. I'm going to say, and I know abortion is a terrible thing. It really is. I don't condone abortion. There's 1 million children aborted a year. We never know what those children were going to grow up to be. One of those children could have the cure to cancer. We don't know what happens. But as a society, we need to prepare people ahead of time. So it's almost like we're knocking these women for having these abortions, but yet we don't. Where's the preventative action? What are we doing to prevent these unwanted pregnancies? So I think that's where the money
Right.
and the law should go to. What do you
Right.
think?
Right. That is. You got to, like you said, preventing it, but also it's like a choice. People choose to do that, then so they're gonna be taking away a lot of people's choices if they want to stop people from doing certain things. That ain't gonna work.
Right. No, and
That ain't
I
gonna
think
work.
it's a woman. I think it's a woman's right. Look, it's completely a woman's right. Again, do I condone it? No, I don't. If there was some type of adoption or other things that could happen, that would be great. Um, instead of aborting a child. But again, it's a woman's choice. I don't think we have any right to tell a woman what to do with their body. There was a post, and this is going to be a little. This is going to be a little vulgar, but I don't care. There was a post out there. It was a woman holding up a post that says that if Viagra is government funded, right? So if that could be government funded, why can't abortions?
Wow.
And it, and it said limp penis or erection dysfunction is funded, but that's not a bad thing.
Wow. You know what? That
Why is it even a thing to abort a baby? That's a great question. I mean, it shouldn't be a thing to abort a baby, but there are different circumstances, health reasons could be a reason why, and
rape or
not saying,
incest.
yeah, rape or incest could be a reason why, based on what the medical conditions of the child could be. But I really don't think there's any good reason for abortion. But that's again my opinion. It's not. It's in my belief. A woman can do what she wants with her body, and we should not take that away. God gave everybody a choice, right? He said, he said, choose life. In the Bible, it says choose life, and that's what I would expect people to do. But not everybody has that.
Yeah, that's true.
Brand said neither should be funded by taxpayer dollars, which is absolutely correct. I agree.
Yeah,
I
you're
totally
right.
agree. I would think we'd
Neither
have
should
more
be.
women out there chiming in on this question, since it's
You
a,
know where
a
they
women's
at?
right.
You know where they at?
Watching
They
football.
sitting in front of the TV watching the football game or
Yep.
getting ready for it, getting the
Yep.
snacks together. Baby, you got your Dallas? It's probably a lot of Dallas Cowboy, but
Yeah.
no, some people are
Men
just
watch it.
Brady fans, so they go wherever Brady goes. So
Men watch it for the sport of it. Women just like to see heavily muscle bound men in spandex. Oh,
in spandex, on
yeah, in spandex.
just all jumping, yeah. I don't watch football anymore. I just, it's just not. You can't hit. You can't really do nothing no more. It's boring. It's like basketball. You can't even, they do all the flopping and faking, and you can get a foul by just throwing your arms around. I watch basketball, but it's still like,
Yeah,
the
it's
big.
not like it used to be.
Not
So
exactly no.
no. So what do you think about these laws, Sharif?
I think the law is very difficult for a lot of people in Texas. But I hope, like I said earlier, I hope that we don't have it. Well, it's almost like the control, and it's almost like the setting up, basically.
Right. Right.
Making everything so easy. No.
Yeah, and that's not the only law. I mean, they got the ballot box tracking system. So Texas has always been out of the box when it comes to laws and things of that sort. Um, it also has one of criminalizing homeless camping, HB 1925. If you're not, if you're camping or you're sleeping in a place that's not designated, it's a misdemeanor crime, which carries up to a $500 fine. Where is this? Where is this person supposed to get this $500? That'd be my first question.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be a war. A cause of war.
No, and then we got that coming up too. If you've been paying attention, our hearts go out to everybody for September 11th. We all know what happened on that day.
Definitely.
That's going to happen Saturday, and there's going to be some protests at the Capitol. So everybody stay safe if you're in the D.C. area. Hopefully nothing will come of it. Hopefully it's just, peaceful protests. But that's something to be on the lookout and watch for. And a lot of people are upset with the way the country is going. Everybody's got their, own opinions of how it should go. And we just got to let, the lawmakers make the laws. But again, we're the ones that put the lawmakers in their positions. So we have to hold them accountable.
Got to vote on stuff. Got to be diligent. Got to be paying attention. Just like over here where I live, they trying to put a gas station and a liquor store at the beginning of a.
Well, we've got somebody that's chimed in.
It takes you to Facebook. Okay. So anyway.
So
Sherry, that's the homegirl Cherie there. I'll bring Cherie and ask her about this. Cherie is her name.
Cherie. Okay, Cherie. We'll bring Cherie. She might have some things to say about it from a woman's perspective. Hey, Cherie.
Hi, everybody. Y'all still talking about abortion? I missed a little bit, but I couldn't get on.
Oh, okay. Well, glad you made it.
Yeah, we can go back to that. We still talking about those laws.
Abortion? Oh, well, my opinion.
Is her phone breaking up?
No, she's fine. Yep, we're here fine.
Okay. I know women that has had them. I'm not a big fan of it. I'm pro-life. But at the same time, it's a woman's choice whether they want to have an abortion or not. And I also feel like that's between them and God. That's what they got to answer for that. Nobody else has to answer for that but that woman. There's reasons why women have them, whether it's medically. I know a woman that had to have a medical abortion because she had C-section, and the egg lodged on her scar on the inside of her body. So she had to take this pill to abort the baby. What can you do about stuff like that? Right. Now, when you have a woman that have an abortion just because she don't want a baby, that's different. I think they should dig deep into why the woman wants to have an abortion before they give it to her, because there's other options. You can give the baby up for adoption. Maybe a family member will take the baby. There's other routes other than killing a baby.
Exactly, and I think that's one thing we're trying to figure out is what are the preventative steps that we need to do in society to not have 1 million abortions a year. And I think Cherie, you're absolutely correct. It's a woman's body and a woman's choice. But what can we do to stop these unwanted pregnancies? And this is conservative laws. Those who are conservative Christians really are against that. But one thing that I don't see, and some of my conservative Christian friends are going to be upset with me for saying this, but in your church, who's adopting in your church? Do you have are you funding orphanages so that there could be options for this? What is the church doing, or your church doing, since you're a Christian conservative, to help stop the abortions that are happening? And if it's such a big priority on the conservative Christian list, well, every Christian list, what are we doing to help those that may be in this predicament? That's the question that should be asked.
Yeah. And when I went to school to be an MA, and I did my externship at an abortion clinic. The procedure is horrific. Okay. I don't understand how any woman, it's a blind procedure. They stick in this thing and they sucking the baby out of you. I literally, it was traumatizing, but I had to do it because it was part of my class. I don't recommend. We had to call 911 on the woman because she bled out. Like I said, it's a blind procedure. So you sticking this vacuum up in this lady, you don't know what you sucking out. You know, so they need to take all of I think they should explain the procedure to the women first before they do it, and then once they hear that procedure and know what's going to be done to their bodies, that might change their mind.
Right.
Versus just telling them, you know, how far along are you, and because they give you a Motrin to take, so you before the procedure, so you won't feel as much pain after the procedure. So
that's making me cringe right now.
Yeah, imagine seeing it and hearing it. You know, it's awesome.
I
wouldn't want to. My cousin Carol King, thank you for joining in, cuz she says if abortions are illegal after 6 weeks, then men need to start paying child support at that time. That's a good one.
Wow.
She said
well,
she can have the abortion. She says she can have the abortion just because she wants one.
Yeah. Yeah, but on that child support thing, that's I don't know. Dave Chappelle, I think Dave Chappelle put it correctly. If a woman has a choice to have an abortion, I can choose to abandon them. I know people are gonna be mad at me for saying it. Hey, Dave said it. David Chappelle.
Hey, that was funny when he said it. That was funny when he said it too.
Yeah, but this is a serious topic, and there's got to be some kind of resolution to this, other than the law is the law, right?
It's making somebody.
It's a terrible thing, but what do we do for to prevent this? What's the preventative steps for this? Is it contraceptive? Is it education? What is it? And basically, if you move to Texas, you better not be black, gay, or promiscuous. That's what their laws are telling you. Basically,
you're in trouble.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in a lot of trouble after this episode, man. Dang.
Who you gonna be in trouble? Your mama gonna whoop you?
Nah, ain't nobody gonna whoop me.
All right, then what you talking about then? This is just a wide open forum. We talking. Hey, we might say some stuff that nobody don't like. I always say stuff that nobody don't like. So, you know.
Yes.
So anyway,
if you want to join, like Cherie did, there's a green room link.
Yep.
Go ahead and chime in. We'll bring you on the show. We'd really like to hear from you.
Yes. Don't just sit there and watch. What we got? We got 11 people. We got most of the people are on Facebook. Knock, where you at, Knock? Why you ain't came on, Knock? Come on, your video.
Carol says men need to wrap it up then. Look, it's two people. There's two people that's involved in this situation. You got two consenting adults. Everybody needs to be more careful if you're going to be trying to practice on bringing a new life in this world. It's not just on the man. It's got to be on the woman too. It's a 50-50.
Yeah, you're right. Because I think a lot of us can attest. My first child was just, I ain't got to go to school. So it just wasn't supposed to happen because I wasn't thinking, I was just doing. And before you know it, I'm like, I'm about to be a father.
Yeah.
I was confused because I didn't even know who I was.
And see, a lot of the thing too is a lot of these women have abortions because we take the bulk of the responsibility of the parenting.
Right.
And a lot of women can't handle that, or they already have kids and they just can't handle. I know for me, I got two and I was done because I knew raising my two by myself, it was a lot of work. So instead of me risking the chance of getting pregnant, I got my tubes tied because I didn't believe in abortion. And I just think a lot of women do that because it's a lot being a single mom. It's a lot. And a lot of women, they just can't handle another baby.
Yeah, I can understand that when you left to make the choice on your own. Some girls are faced with, my parents kicked me out the house because I was pregnant.
Right.
So it's like having this baby caused me so much problems. I can understand it. And I can't say I'm for it, but I can say it's just like the vaccine. If you wanted, you get it. If you don't, you don't. Hey, you might have messed up. You might have just was having sex. Just, I don't know. We all just have sex because we was told we supposed to. So
I don't know who you was talking to.
Yeah, me either.
I don't know where you was going with that. Go ahead, Sharif.
I'm just saying, sex is something we tried. It was just something because you know somebody else who did it, so you try. I'm just saying,
Sharif,
that's how you become.
Okay, right.
Sharif, go Sharif.
I don't think they well have an abortion or something like that, but at the same time they have you call it adoption. So why can't you just let them know? Then
That's a good one.
Have somebody else take care of them. You know,
that's a good one.
Even if the person don't want the baby or not, you know. I know the woman's choice. You know, there are some that get raped or some, and then they don't want it. You know, so I can understand that too. You know, I've heard that the women have it where they get it sperm in them when the father is not around, but they go look at the picture of the face and then they get the sperm and put it in them. You know, the different ways they can do it. I mean, different women do think different. You know, their life is different with it. So I don't know. It's tough for women. So
there's definitely got to be some more options for those other than abortion. Yeah, there's definitely got to be options, and I think those options should be pushed by family members, should be pushed by your healthcare provider. But it's really it's a tricky situation.
Yeah, it is a tricky situation because, I mean, how can us men really talk about it when we're not going through it?
Nope.
So we kind of like, oh.
But a lot of men ain't going through it either way. They not going through it with the abortion, and they not going through it helping with raising the kids.
Yeah. Now that's
I said,
that's it.
The bulk of the responsibility lies on the woman. And I have a cousin that got pregnant at 14, and my cousins made her get an abortion. So what do you do in situations like that? She didn't want it, but they didn't want the backlash of their 14-year-old child having a baby. You know, so it's all different reasons why women have abortions. You can't just say they just a baby killer. You can't do that because that's not always the case.
No, you can't judge based on it. Some of these girls are just children, right? They don't know any better. They got into a bad situation. And again, we're not condoning abortions. We would really like to. What are the other other things we could do to prevent this? And and to judge a woman, I know some pastors' wives that have had abortions and and speak on it and the redemption that they have after having it and how sorry they feel and but it's a tricky situation, but I think there's got to be some other alternatives that we can come up with other than the abortion. That should be the last result.
Hey, my cousin Carol said every sperm doesn't deserve a name. Oh, that's a good one.
Well, on that's a great segue. That's a great segue for that one, Carol.
We're about to go ahead and flip it.
Yeah, thanks, Sharif, for coming on. We're going to our next topic. Okay. Stay tuned. You might be able to chime in on this one also.
All right. Yeah, this is mental health, Sharif. We're gonna talk to a professional.
That's my subject.
Clinical social worker Rondo. So stay with us. All right, so let's go on and flip it, Troy.
Yep, we're going to the next topic. And the next topic is mental health and physical health. Is like pulling the muscle. And mental health, you have to really treat it before it gets worse. You know, like me, I watch this. You know, it sounds crazy, but I watch this and it's a peace of mind. You know, and I used to play basketball, but I don't play basketball anymore like I used to. But that's the peace of mind. Everybody should be able to find something that they can get away with to fit the mental, because you don't want to make it worse, because when they get worse, and they have a way you can zap the brain. But first, before you do all that, you first pray. You pray first before you do anything else to help your mind.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about this a little bit more in depth. None of us are professional healthcare providers. Sharif works with machines. Drummer's retired. I play with computers. So we don't know anything. So we're going to bring in somebody who actually knows what he's talking about. Right. Mr. Rondo Cooper.
Rondo.
Hey, Rondo.
Hey, everybody.
What's going on?
You know what I just saw? I think so. Carolyn King is somebody's cousin.
That's my cousin.
So Carolyn is a psychiatrist, right? Is that the Carolyn King that I'm thinking about?
Carol, you still on there, sure. I'm not sure. No, okay, I'm not sure. She on here watching. If she is, she gonna say something. But I don't.
If it is, she needs to come on in here too. Right. Hi, London.
Hey, London.
Right.
Yeah. So, Rondo, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your background, and we'll get deep into this subject of mental health.
Absolutely. And I am more than honored to be here because I really believe in what you brothers are doing to serve our community for real. So it's powerful, it's moving, and that's why I'm happy that you asked me to pour into this whole piece. So
thank you for
again, my
being
name is Rondo Cooper, and I am an Ohio State fan. And
oh shoot,
really?
We should kick him off the show right now.
No.
You got mental issues.
No.
Wait a minute. You need to be doing a session with yourself.
I'm sorry. We talked earlier, and I said, "Boy, it's still that butt still must be a little tender from
little tender, man." So, yeah.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
All right. Yeah, turn the hat backwards, man. Turn it backwards.
I have a master's in social work. And I've been, I was in private practice for some time. And and to be really truthful and transparent, when I was young, and thought I knew everything, I should have went and finished the rest of the licensure piece. So I'm a limited license. So I've done private practice. And when I did the private practice, not Carolyn King. Okay, Carol King. I got you.
There you go.
Yeah. So I got checked. She just checked me. I'm getting checked already. Dang. So no. I did private practice for a number of years, and I've worked in the jails. I've worked in the prisons. I worked out at Bellamy Creek Prison. I worked at the Kent County Jail. I used to do suicide assessments on third shift. And that was by far one of the best jobs that I've ever had in my life.
Wow, really?
And oh my goodness, hands down. So it was, I saw anything that you could see, and we could talk about some of that stuff. I saw it. I, had those conversations with people. And sometimes, in a circumstance like that, people are the realists when you don't have some of those airs to put on and stuff like that. So currently what I do is I do a lot of training and development at Grand Rapids Public Schools. I work with teachers, helping them to kind of understand our babies. I talk with them about social, emotional health, and I do a lot of restorative practices. But I like talking. I love talking, and I would literally pay people just to hear them talk because I love stories.
Right.
I love stories. So yes. Yes.
So so you love stories.
Oh my God. I got stories. I got stories. Oh my God. I love nursery rhyme stories. I was the kid who had like the little jokes. I love jokes. I love stories. And so, but I also think that our lives are full of stories. And I'm always trying to figure out how to connect how to connect people to their stories so they can keep going, or how to help people to remember their stories so they can keep moving. And some people, the one thing without a doubt that I know that I am built here for, and I wish it was that Oprah stuff, that Oprah money and all that. I didn't get any of that. I guess the thing that I am here for is to help to make kings and queens. I am here to help other people. That's what I've been doing. That's the thing that I get excited about. You can see me move. You can see me moving my hands and stuff.
Yeah.
I love talking about it. I love hearing about it.
Great.
And my wife is like, well, why don't you get paid about it? But I just so yeah.
Tell her it's on its way. It's on its way.
It's Order's way, baby. It's Order's way. But God has told me several times.
We got anybody out there with questions?
Yeah, any questions? I know Sharif had a question. Sharif, go ahead.
Yep, I have a question. What are the first signs of someone getting mental?
Yep. So mental. So let's think about it like this. So if somebody has, so mental health is really talks about like how we are adjusting socially, how we're adjusting emotionally, and psychologically. So that's what they kind of look at. And some of those first signs might be speech. Like their speech might be a little bit different. And when I say the speech, you might be thinking about like the tempo. You might be thinking about like, is it clear? Is it kind of jumpy? Some of those things, you might hear people trying to figure it out, like that. Appearance is something that you can kind of see. Appearance, meaning that somebody might have, all of us have poor hygiene at one point, especially when we're young. But this might be somebody who it goes on for a number of weeks or a number of days. And it's interesting because I was talking to my mother, and my mother talked about a lady who she had one shirt, and when the front of the shirt got dirty, she would turn the shirt around to the back. When the back got dirty, she would turn it inside out and do that flip. But that was what she was kind of caught in, So also, Sharif, so we talked about appearance, we talked about speech, cognition. Some of their thoughts might be kind of jumpy, meaning that they might seem confused or disoriented when they're kind of talking. And then let's even think about like also with some of their thoughts, they might be responding to something that they're hearing inside of their head. And most of us talk to ourselves all the time, but this self might be telling them to jump out in front of a car. This self might be telling them to stab somebody. This self might be telling them, and I'm talking about stuff that I've heard people say.
What would that condition? Is that like schizophrenia or?
Some of those are that schizophrenia. Where and I'll tell you, I had a young guy in the jail one time. Said that he was fine, everything was good. And then I said, okay, so medication, yep. And I said, tell me about Zycord. And he was talking, and when I mentioned the word Zycord, he stopped. And he kind of looked around, and I said, Zycord, you'll be in trouble if you talk about Zycord. And he said, yes. And I said, well, can you tell me if Zycord is going to tell you to hurt yourself? He shook his head, yes. And I said, okay, I'll see you later. And he said, all right, see you later, Coop, and left like wasn't nothing wrong.
Okay.
So
there's back in the 80s, I remember that, I don't know, I think it was the 80s or during the Reagan administration, we used to have places for those who had mental conditions, right?
Yes.
And then they cut the funding for that. And then all of a sudden we see a lot of people on the streets that are talking to themselves and this homeless epidemic.
Yes.
What's the majority of the homeless out there that may have mental issues? Is that a huge, do you see that as a huge?
it's huge. So like you just said, we had those institutions and we had those places for people, but now the jails have become the new mental institutions. So a lot of times people who go to jail, they're just having some type of mental issue, and it's horrible, it's deplorable. But that is, we're in that political day, in that political time where that's not something that people want to, capitalize. I mean, they feel like they can't get money about it, so they're like, okay, they can do that. If a real mental issue is something that you can't just snap out of and get over, and most of us, you know what? I might put down money and say I bet $20 that all of us had somebody in our family who is afflicted with some type of mental illness. And I think you had somebody was saying something. I think Miss Cherie or Miss Bogan, she had a question.
Hey, read that. It's down there at the bottom. It's down there at the bottom. You should be able to see it.
It says, how do you know if you're having a panic attack? Yep. How do you know if you're having a panic attack? I was feeling I was about to have a seizure. I would start suffering, feeling very weird for months, and I took an anxiety pill and it stopped. Is this what my doctor don't have a clue?
No. That's good. So a panic attack is when somebody is responding to some type of stimuli that's like, it's almost like feeling like something is about to happen, but it's not happening. It's like I'm hesitating because I don't want to say it's unrealistic, because for those who are having a panic attack, the fear is very realistic. Like I can feel somebody walking behind me. I can feel like the room is kind of closing. Like this sister said, I feel like I'm about to have a seizure. And so the difference is what she said is that when she took that medication, that kind of settled out. Now, some of the medication that we can take, it might affect something else. But it sounds definitely like she was having a panic attack. And I'm gonna tell you all this too. Anybody who's listening, be sure to go talk to your doctors, y'all, because we don't talk to our doctors. I have a small anxiety disorder and some depression. I'm being honest about me. And it took me a while to really confess it to my doctor. I was afraid because of, and hopefully we can talk about this, because of that role of shame in our community. Shame is huge. Shame will make you do some stuff, say some stuff, see some stuff, be with some stuff that you don't need to be with, or be with some people you don't need to be with because of shame. So yeah, I think.
I wanted to ask. So you said something about seizures wise. I personally just out of nowhere start having seizures after I retired. Basically in the home while I'm asleep, most of the majority, 95% of the seizures. So they don't know what it is. So, it's I don't really know what it is. I'm gonna move out the house to see what that is, first of all. But I have, because they happen in the house when I'm asleep.
Right.
Like I would say 97, 98% happen when I'm asleep. But I have had a lot of issues with head injuries, lots of those, and a lot of different things, as in accidents and just stuff that would be mental. Because hey, I'm growing up as a young teenager, so I'm like, oh, that ain't nothing. That getting shot at ain't nothing. Oh, getting shot ain't nothing. That ain't nothing. That's just how it happened. And I personally never talked to nobody. I just moved on, and I'm like, is it haunting me 30 years later?
Well, there you go. So I read a book called "The Body Keeps the Score," and in that book they talk about post-traumatic stress, and they're really talking about how people, like that stress that we think that we moved on past, that our bodies is still kind of dealing with that stuff. And so I hope that you get a chance to talk to a good neurologist to find out what might be happening.
Man, I've tried all that. They say, Mr. Brown, you're very healthy. We don't know why. Try eating different. Try doing this. Try this. Try this. Try this. Try this. Try this. So, but my main neurologist, the one that
Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna give you Rondo's phone number, and you can pay him for a consulting session.
You ain't even got to pay.
I'm glad you did that. I'm glad you did that. Hey, I like when he does. I like when he does that because then I can get him later. So yeah, Rondo, I got your info. We're Facebook friends. Let's go.
Yes.
Let's move on. Anybody out there got some questions?
Well, I think one of the sisters said something about stress is a lot of our problems. I think triggers other things. No, she is right. When you think about the African American community, and I'm sure that you brothers have kind of talked about it. We are, if America catches a cold, we catch the flu, right? Mm-hmm. We are doing the worst in a lot of categories. We're doing the worst in terms of money. We are struggling. Now, we might have more money to be able to more disposable income, but we're still struggling. We're doing the worst in terms of homelessness. We're doing the worst in terms of, a lot of those stressors. And so those external stressors, they're affecting us. And like we were just talking about before, at some point, your body says, hey, man, nah, bruh, that you need some help and everything. It's funny because I'll tell you that. So y'all don't remember Skinny Rondo.
Y'all Sharif probably did.
Right. Sharif remembers Skinny Rondo. You remember Skinny Rondo. So this is big Rondo.
I remember the young Rondo.
Right.
And the older Rondo. The young one, you were doing the same thing for you.
Yes.
I was watching you.
So it's funny because the other day I called myself trying to get in shape, and I went and got me, these $150-something gym shoes. No, I don't have the money, and I'm probably in trouble for saying this out loud. I hope my wife ain't listening. But got these gym shoes, and I decide, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna go running. So my body said, hold on for a second. Let me get this straight. So you done ate all these honey buns, all these, these double cheeseburgers and all this stuff.
Not the honey buns.
Right. And
I'm stuck on the honey bun.
I'm a honey bun guy. The honey buns, hold on. I'm gonna tell you about the honey buns. Speak to me, like
honey buns.
Right.
I'm over here.
My wife, hold on, I'm gonna switch just a second. My wife used to get in the car and she would know how stressed I was by how many honey buns were hidden in between the seats, the packages. Like, what's wrong with you? And I'd be like, oh man, for real, So yes, honey buns. But anyway, my body was like, man, we got to work our way into this. So,
hey, Rondo, I have two more questions.
Okay.
Should you be ashamed to ask for help?
No. Okay. No. Let me tell you this. I appreciate that question so much. Because what's beneath that question is I think it's the fact that how we feel about ourselves, right? And I think that we have to start thinking that we are worthy of help, that we deserve help, that God has said, no, I do want you to be better. So no, we shouldn't be ashamed. And somehow we have to change the way that we kind of looking at that mental health stuff in our community. Listen, I wear glasses, and I was talking to a friend of mine about, depression and stuff. And she said, look, let me tell you something. She said, why is it that when we get older and we have to wear glasses, nobody's ashamed about the glasses, right? Nobody's ashamed about that. But if I need to go talk to somebody because I'm feeling more down than usual, we get ashamed about that. And I think the issue is because we can't see it, because we think we can't see it, then we're trying to say that it's kind of scary to us and stuff like that. But if you look in our culture, we are telling each other about this. I know you all haven't talked about hip hop, but in hip hop, and I'm an old school hip hop head. We can all four of us, and even Sister Cherie, we can think about a song where they're talking about depression, where they're talking about anxiety, where they're talking about maybe suicide when they're doing that. So our culture is telling us in some ways that a lot of us that we don't feel well. And so it's important for us to not only start talking with each other, but also talking with professionals. We need to do that. I think you're stronger if you do decide to go do something like that.
Right. I got one more last one.
Okay.
After COVID-19, have the mental illness case gone up or down?
Without a doubt, went up. Without a doubt. And so when I talk about my own mental health, and that was the reason that I talked to my doctor, because I was like, hey man, I said, look, man, this stuff is, my work. I said, but this COVID-19, and one of the reasons that it went up is because what COVID shook the foundation for all of us. All of us thought that we were okay. We used to think that, okay, whatever that disease is, whatever that thing, it's over there. It ain't gonna get to us. We got the baddest military. We got people in space now. We can shoot down bombs out the air. We got guns who can shoot around a corner. Mm-hmm. But this little disease, somebody just said, and now all of us is sick. All of us. It was a time that if a black man walked into Myers with a mask on, they would have thought I was there to rob the place. And now they look at me if I don't have a mask on. So no, it definitely went up. We're seeing increases with suicide. We're seeing increases with people who are reporting mental health issues. We're seeing increases of domestic violence. We're seeing increases of stuff all over the place. And we're about to see some stuff start happening again, because now those benefits are running out. So a lot of our friends who was like, nah, right now I ain't gonna work. I'm gonna go ahead and get this. I'm going to get this money right now.
Unemployment is shutting down everywhere. Yeah. This the last month. Matter of fact, this the last week.
The sister did say something. She said we have to deprogram ourselves from that mental slavery. And one of the things that I really appreciate about that statement is that there's been nobody who has been under the type of stress that we've had to deal with. And so they have defined us. They have they told us what is beautiful in our community. They try to tell us what to listen to. They try to tell us how to talk, all that stuff is on us. And that's that pressure. And like we just talked about, bro, that those chickens are coming home to roost. I am not shooting down anybody's songs, because when Michael Jackson came out and we were wearing those jackets, I didn't wear none of those jackets, but I did see Sharif wearing one of them jackets.
I believe that. Hey, Sharif could do that Michael Jackson now. Sharif used to get down, Troy. Right. Sharif go way back.
Me and Sharif went to Baltimore. And there's it was in Baltimore, and there's this huge club. It's still there, Hammerjacks. It's called Hammerjacks. And we got in there, and they started playing Thriller, and Sharif danced the whole Thriller song, did the whole routine. We had free drinks for the rest of the night.
Now back to mental health. Okay, Rondo. Go back. Let's go back to where we was at. I got my turn. So now we even. So let's go back. Because I don't forget stuff.
Let's say this.
Mine was entertaining.
Let's say this though. Let's say this, y'all. It's that sometimes that whole piece, dancing and how we laughing, those are cathartic things for us. That and it helps us to release. Exactly. To do this stuff more. That's why. Going to the barbershop. When we go to the barbershop or something like that, when brothers are talking and we loving on each other and razzing each other and stuff like that, those are self-care experiences. So that Thriller and that stuff like that, yes.
You know what's crazy that you said that? Most of the people I deal with, that's how we deal with each other. We talk about each other. We get on each other. We laugh. And that's how we do it. I mean, we honestly going to have a show where that's what we going to do. Because we got people that's going to just bam. So you're right about that. It's that feel-good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a research study that said that I think they wanted to see if actual laughter was the best medicine. And so they had people take a pencil and put it in between their teeth and do like this, and they had them report how they felt. And I think they surveyed like thousands of people, and it came back that actually when we smiled, that we physically felt better. We physically there were physical changes happening to us as a result of us just laughing. So that's go ahead, brother. I'm sorry. You about to say something.
Well, how do some people, like we have talked about anxiety? We've heard some of the people on here talk about anxiety. What are some stress and anxiety relievers that people can do?
You know what? It's just like there's some universal stuff that we can do, right? But I'll say it like this too, and I'll give you this example. So, and y'all gonna think I'm crazy, but roll with me. I like, and Miss Cherie, listen, don't be talking about me, but I like I like butter and sugar on my grits.
Butter and sugar on grits. On the grits? You say grits?
On my grits.
Yeah.
Right.
I do the same thing.
I saw a Facebook post that said people who put sugar on grits are going to be in the Section 8 section of heaven. So here's what and the reason I said that is because
Cherie said me too.
Right.
We do it too.
So what I'm saying is that sometimes what makes us feel, what relieves some anxiety, it might be different for different people. Watching TV, I love to play chess. I like going to I like working out. I go to the gym at like 4:00 in the morning. I like riding my bike. I love playing chess. I like listening to stories. Like my wife, she's an English teacher at a college, and she's like, I don't want to hear nobody else talk after I'm done. Like I ain't trying to, but and so it's different. But people need to start thinking about what helps them. What do you like to do, even if it doesn't cost?
Right.
Walking out, taking a walk outside, reading. Somebody said the gym helps them. I just saw somebody say the gym helps.
Yoga. They said yoga.
Yeah, and I already self-disclosed to y'all that that them honey buns used to talk to me. They used to talk to me. And what's interesting enough is sometimes eating food does chemically give you a different feeling. So like it messes with your endorphins and your
right.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. But getting a hug from somebody can give you, some of those, being with people. Right. Being with people gives you that oxytocin. I think they call that the love drug. So
the love drug.
That's like you said with those honey buns. That was your comfort food.
Oh my God. And I try to stay away from them now, but brothers,
man, you know good and well you got a honey bun right there. But
I am gonna tell you though,
it's under the table right now. You like
you could have let me tell you what. I'm gonna tell you what, 5 years ago, you could have did me like this. Say something, and I'd have been like, you could have been like, let's hear you bark right now. I'd have been like, her.
Oh man.
Yeah. So this brother said working out is one of the things that helps him.
Relieve the stress.
Yeah, especially on with that's one thing I think we have problems with is consistency.
Yeah.
How do we, when the world or when life just happens, how do we stay consistent? Because there's sometimes I'll go a whole month, and do what I'm supposed to do, get up in the morning, go walk, and then all of a sudden I'm just like,
forget it.
I'm not gonna do
it. You know what? And I think that, man, let me tell you why that's so important. What you just said. I read something today that talked about how we integrity is important. They say, right, keeping your word in a situation is important. But one of the things that we don't deal with is the integrity for ourselves, keeping the word to ourselves. And we make a lot of times we'll make, like London said, listen to music. That helps. Absolutely. But a lot of times what we'll do is we'll make these cavalier promises to ourselves. I'm going to work out at this time. And we make these promises to God. And then we just break those promises. And that takes away from us a little bit and a little bit and a little bit at a time. And I'm a big one for real, because I ain't lying. But if a honey bun dropped out from the screen, I'll be trying not to pay attention to it. but we have to try to figure out, like small things. And I'm a real big proponent of making sure that we monitor and watch how shame shows up in our lives in different ways, because we shouldn't be ashamed of the stuff. But I think that somehow we need to figure out where we've kind of broken those promises to ourselves and to keep moving and stuff, and it's okay to start over, for real.
Yeah.
Well, we got a new name for you now. You Honey Bun Rondo.
Honey Bun Badger. Right.
Yeah, we're gonna have you on another show so we can get deeper into this topic. There's other things that you're doing with the youth. Understand that you're I'm not sure if you're still working with Upward Bound. Are you still working with Upward Bound?
Nope, I did. And that was near and dear to my heart. But we our program actually lost the grant, but I still do, go back and do trainings with the other directors around the country, because Upward Bound works with first generation college students. So just if I had to leave you all with anything, man, I would make sure, man, that you keep talking to your friends and family. That if you are friends and family and you feel like something might be kind of happening with your loved ones, start having these conversations. And then also, brothers, please, don't be ashamed of reaching out for help. Anxiety is one of the most common mental health things, but it's one of the ones that can be corrected the fastest. So keep going, man. Keep going. Love yourselves. And be the best version of yourself that you have right now. I ain't talking about when I was 20, I was a different guy. But now that I'm 50, I'm trying to be the best version of this guy right now. And that's what we have to do in our families, be the best versions of ourselves right now. Damn yesterday.
Right.
Right now.
And Nicole said that she would like to know, we need to share your contact information for people that may want to talk to you, and just tell everybody how everybody could get in contact with you. Also email it to us and what you want posted, and then we'll repost it on our social media feeds.
Absolutely, y'all. Absolutely. And like I told you, man, I love what you all are doing, and I'll come back and talk anytime about this thing, for real, brother. So
go on and throw it out there right now, man. What do? You give up your Facebook or what?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook at Rondo Cooper. It says Rondo.
Spell it out for him.
Yep. RHONDO Cooper.
Okay. Yeah, so everybody can chime in if there's people in Grand Rapids or throughout viewership to get in contact with you. We do appreciate it. Won't be the last time that you're on. So we got some other topics that we'd like to get up and running.
I take honey buns for payment, so I'm just saying.
Well, man, I know where to get a bulk of honey bun. Do it matter what brand? They got to have enough sauce.
See, I'll tell you, it's the gas station brand. They're the best one. yeah. No, but seriously, I mean, man, anything, anytime, anything, especially if we help sisters to understand about the men that they with, and
right, that'd be a good one.
Like that.
Yeah,
so,
that would definitely be a good one.
Yeah. So thank you, brothers. God bless y'all and y'all's ministry.
God bless you too.
I appreciate y'all, man.
God,
for real.
Thank you,
man.
Thank you, I really appreciate it.
All right. See y'all.
Oh, that was
thank you, everybody. Thank you, everyone out there for the. They said we had a great show. Yes, it was. It was very informational. Rondo, I wish we had more time to let him just continue to talk to enlighten us all, but we're only doing a certain amount of time. Yep, so thank you, Sean, Mom, cousin Carol, Sheena, my wife Nicole,
Cherie, London,
Christy, Guzman, Chapo. Oh, you back? You back from Mexico? Chapo Brown?
Chapo Brown made it back.
What'd you bring back? Did you bring back some of them kilos? We talk later.
Yeah, it was great information. Thanks for joining us, Sean. And then I guess should we call it a wrap?
Hey, Sharif, you got something to say? What you
thank you for watching the song. Thank you for watching the song.
Yeah.
We got more coming.
Yep. Stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, like on Facebook, and also comment during the week because we put up the posts. We really appreciate everybody showing up, and go watch football.
We're in a lot of trouble because less than 3% of you people read books. Listen to me. Television is not the truth. Television is a goddamn amusement park. Television is a circus, a carnival, a traveling troupe of acrobats, storytellers, dancers, singers, jugglers, sideshow freaks, lion tamers, and football players. We'll tell you anything you want to hear. We lie like hell. We'll tell you any shit you want to hear. We deal in illusions, man. None of it is true. You're beginning to believe the illusions. This is mass madness, you maniac. In God's name, you people are the real thing. We are the illusion.